up the good work, man, and stay flat, okay?
Okay, I'm a flat earther.
What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Today we have a couple of flat earth debates going on. We have one going on here in a few hours that is with the Flat Earth Brothers and somebody else. I can't remember who the other opponent is. Sorry. Oh, Fight to Flat Earth. Okay. So Fight to Flat Earth is taking on them. But right now we have Schrodinger's cat versus Flat Earth Focker. So, Craig, or Fight the Flat Earth, is there anything you want to say?
I'm looking forward to a nice debate. I know these guys have both been preparing quite a lot for this. So, yeah, I think we should get started.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to have a little bit more stringent of a debate style tonight, or structure. So we're going to allow each of the guys to go and talk about themselves a little bit, and then explain their position, and then we'll just kind of go from there with I guess I didn't really talk to FTFE about this before, or you guys, but do you guys just want like a structured conversation, or is it going to be like one person makes a point for like 5 minutes and like you alternate like that?
I'm good with whatever he wants.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
We can do
I don't need 5 minutes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm not going to need 5 minutes. I'm good for like a back and forth conversation that we're not interrupting each other.
Okay.
All right.
Let's just give you guys 5 minutes each to introduce yourselves and your channels, and then we can just get into it. Yeah.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Yep, sounds good.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go second.
All right, Flat Earth Focker, do you just want to take a few minutes, introduce yourself, your channel, and tell us what you're about?
Sure. First of all, it's great. I got Cliff, I got Craig, I got CC for 33. That's my angel number there. So thank you. That worked out really well. I am Flat Earth Focker. I have a YouTube channel. It's not definitely not Globey friendly. So I woke up to realizing that this believing in a round spinning ball, that the Earth was a sphere. I realized that was a lie almost 2 years ago, and I realized the many other lies behind that lies, and basically humanity is enslaved by these lies, and pretty much nothing that we know is true. My whole education system is a fraud. The media is a fraud. Education, I already said education is a fraud. And I'm just, it was my intent to go up and to go out there and help wake up people that I know that, hey, just get them to question this spinning globe model. So I started my channel by just talking because I needed a voice. Obviously, as you're aware, being a flat earther is not, not the most prestigious thing to be. And we do face a lot of ridicule because the indoctrination runs deep. And I started also what I do is called flat smacking, I guess, when I go out and introduce people to the possibility that, their belief system of standing sideways, spinning faster than the speed of sound are actually not true. And, that's about all I want to say for now. I mean, and I'm only here. It's not something that I want to debate. I just help people out, and then I leave people alone. If they want to keep believing, I try to plant the seed. And if people want to hold on to their spinning ball, that's their objective. But I guess some people have an issue that Cliff here, Schrodinger's cat, has an issue with the fact that I accost innocent people who are not equipped to speak about the science of the spinning ball. So he's messaged me many times and emailed me. So I thought, you know what? I gave him a date, and I'm here now. I'm looking forward to be shown verifiable, provable, falsifiable proof, evidence that we live on a spinning space ball and not just a bunch of scientism, pseudoscience that we believe to be real science. Not, the reality. I want to be. He's going to show me basically that my reality, my belief system, is what's the word I'm looking for? Is based on science and not just the belief system. That's good. I'm good with that.
Okay, it's fine. We said, Cliff, do you want to just give us 5 minutes about yourself and your opening statement?
Yeah, I'm Schrodinger's cat. I taught high school science for 10 years. No, that was Ken Hovind, not me. I spent 22 years in the Navy, and much of that time I spent driving Navy ships. And for part of that time, I drove a 40,000-ton warship through all over the world. If the U.S. Navy is good at anything, we put warheads on foreheads. And with our current model, we can't do that. And we use the globe model. So tonight for the debate, I have a couple things. I have this bottle of Glenlivet Scotch. Whenever my interlocutor says something stupid, I'm going to take a shot. We'll see if I survive. And I have my U.S. Navy beer stein that I bought when I was deployed in Germany. So I'll be using that tonight for my other libations. And I've got my oven mitt for face palms. I don't want to hurt myself tonight. So whenever I see a flat earther in an interview, they say that they heard about the flat earth and said, I'm going to debunk this in 10 minutes, and then they couldn't. So that's how you create a flat earther. How you create somebody like myself, Craig, or John is we heard about the flat earth. We said, I'm going to debunk this in 5 minutes. And then we did. So what I have brought to you tonight, and I expect flowers and chocolates in the mail, I've brought you a unicorn. If allegedly Dave and Southern Israelite had a baby, that would be my opponent tonight. Among other things, he's not only a flat earther, he's an anti-vaxxer and a sovereign citizen. I've made a wildly truncated list of the things that he has asserted. Where do I begin? No radiation comes from the sun. The Earth spins, in our model, the Earth spins 50 times faster than a speeding bullet. 9/11, Sandy Hook, Pulse nightclub, and AIDS are all fake. The O.J. Simpson trial was fake, and Nicole Brown Simpson is Megyn Kelly. They, in quotes, eat babies. The Holocaust is fake. Airplanes don't use jet fuel. Craig and I are trained by the CIA. He thinks that they broke into his house, took the T off of his Skechers, not just his, but everyone's. Changed the spelling of the words independence, cemetery, and other words. Not after the fact, but retroactively. They changed every book, the spelling of these words in every book, everywhere. They moved Sri Lanka. They moved his heart and his kidneys, not just his, but everyone's. Most celebrities are trannies. Chemtrails are a thing. My goal is not to convert Flat Earth Focker. It's to show that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Failing that, my secondary plan is a... no, I fucked that line up. So he said that Craig and I are paid to fake the globe. Here's my challenge. If you can prove that I have been paid to fake the globe, every dollar that I was paid, I will turn over to you. I relinquish the rest of my time.
John, you're muted.
Wow, that's great. Thank you, Schrodinger's cat. I see you've been watching all of my videos and taking notes. That's awesome. Thank you for introducing your viewers to an alternative reality, something else to think about. Now they can listen to all of that and think I'm a whack job, and that's their prerogative, and I'm okay with that. And you can think that I've lost my mind, and I am okay with that as well. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I found out that all these things were fake. I mean, everything you stated is basically, if somebody wants to, pretty much everything, I say 90% there. There's a couple of things that I never stated as fact, but, you know, it's something that I believe. So those are my beliefs, not something that I know. And that's fine. You are correct in everything, pretty much everything you said there. Sandy Hook is fake. The Holocaust didn't happen the way it happened. That nobody died at the Orlando Pulse shooting. Vaccinations are poison, and we don't live on a spinning space ball. And for me, I'm Mandela affected. So Mandela effect is real for me. So there's nothing to debate there. I congratulate you for summing up my channel and watching all of my videos. Thank you very much for that.
Right. Okay.
Sorry. So what I would like to ask you is, if we were going to get this going, is, do you think humanity is enslaved, or do you think everything is hunky dory? And so obviously you have an issue with what I talk about on my channel and what I go and plant like a seed in other people's minds. So you have a problem with that. You have a problem with the information I'm giving people, mainly about the fact that the Earth is not a sphere. And so let's start with your number one proof of a sphere. Like, where is the curvature? Or are you going to neglect the fact that there's any curvature?
Oh no, is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, let's just go back and forward now, and just don't talk over each other, and you let each other finish their point, and then we just try and have a nice civilized discussion. If me and John feel like we need to step in to move the conversation forward, then that is our job as a moderator, and we will do that. But let's just leave it to you guys to look after the conversation yourselves, okay? So just take it away.
Okay. Can you bring up? Let's just start with slide number 1. Okay. It's a little blurry, but you said it's going to be not so blurry on the actual stream. See this? Right. See this thing here? That's called a compass rose. And then we have one here, we have one here, we have one here. So this tells us the direction. We have something called a Weems tool that we pull across. It stays perfectly straight no matter where we are. The reason we have 4 of these is because where we are on this chart, we have to know, say we're going, 270. 270 over here is not 270 over here. This thing right here is called a channel. This is the approach to the Hampton Roads. The channel here is not very wide. If we go down here or if we go up here and we're not on course, we crash our ship into shoal water and then we all get fired. We don't do that. We don't run aground. And we use these charts that are based on a globe as evidenced by the fact that this compass rose is not the same as this compass rose. It's based on a globe. Where else are we going to go?
Sorry, can I just answer to that?
Oh, please.
So you just said it's based on a globe. So you are already assuming a globe without having approved the globe.
I'm assuming that the compass rose on my chart is different on the right side than the left side, because it is.
So you're just asserting that it's based on a globe, so it's true without proving.
No,
the
I'm asserting that the compass rose on the right side of my chart is different than on the left side of my chart.
Okay. I couldn't see what you were saying over here, over here, over here. I don't know what you were pointing at.
I can believe that. Can we bring up slide 44? Okay. See, on our ships, we have a thing called big eyes. And I've got a picture of that I'm perfectly happy to show you. And we see things like this. And we see things like this. And things like that.
Cliff, are you trying to use your cursor to point at stuff? Because I don't think that shows up.
Here's pictures of things that we see when we are at sea.
Yeah, that's what I see when I look out over water as well. I agree with you.
I agree with your agreement. Can we go to slide 48? Is that a different slide 48 than I had? Shit. Okay, I screwed that up. So, do you know what longitudinal lines are?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Are you aware that as you go north, longitudinal lines get closer together?
That is what we are told, yes.
That's what you are told, and that's what I observe.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
That doesn't prove a globe.
Are you sure?
No, are you sure?
Yes.
Because lines.
Yeah, I am sure. Here, let's do this. I've got this thing here. And I've got this thing here. Okay, so here's some longitudinal lines. They're that far apart there. And up here, they're that far apart. And that is what we observe on our charts. And again, we do not crash into shoal water.
That's fine. You don't crash into shores. I get it. That doesn't prove a globe. Come on, man. You're assuming a globe because we're told. You haven't looked at all the other possibilities. And that's not sure the globe's going to make sense. If they're lying to us, the lies have to make sense and have to be believable.
Okay, how do you fake nautical charts in a way that people don't crash, but fake the Earth at the same time?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
How do you fake nautical charts in a way that they work and fake the globe at the same time?
How do you fake? Well, I don't have the answer to that. I don't have an answer. That doesn't prove a globe. You're still assuming a globe.
Okay, so it seems like you showed up to a gunfight having not loaded your gun and then forgetting to bring the gun that you forgot to load.
No, I came here to have you prove your globe, and I know you were going to come here and make assumptions and assertions. I did come unprepared. I did not put even an ounce of preparation into this, except what came in my mind, and that was to stay calm, try not to swear, and name call today. I'm not going to be Nathan Oakley or Dell today, but I can be if, So I'm here for you to prove your globe. I'm questioning you on your spinning, that you're standing sideways in Virginia, as I am in Vancouver, and we're spinning faster than the speed of sound, which I found out 2 years ago is absolutely ridiculous and unprovable. So I'm here to have you prove it to me, because you told me in the email, I don't know science, and I'm going to prove the globe to you. So I'm here to tell you.
Okay.
Well, I do need to make one particular statement right now. Flat Earth Focker, you actually are going against the consensus model right now. So actually the burden of proof is on you to prove that it is ridiculous or whatnot, because you're just making wild-haired assertions that it's ridiculous. And hold on. And so it's not that Schrodinger's cat over here has to prove anything, because he is on the side of consensus. You're challenging the consensus. I get that you want proof of the globe, and I mean, I'm Gloria Borga right now. I'm staying out of it. So just, I'm just saying that you're against the consensus. So it really, the burden of proof's on you. End of my opinion.
Yeah, I'll answer to that. I'll answer to that. I'm not here to appeal to authority or appeal to consensus. I'm here with my own free individual mind. I don't care what the whole world believes. Just because everybody believes a lie doesn't mean I have to believe a lie. And you're asking me to prove a negative. What's negative? What the absurd claim is we are standing sideways on a sphere of 24,901 miles, and we never observe that curvature. We can never replicate any experiment of what we're told. And I'm saying that forget about appealing to authority or consensus. Just because everybody believes that lie does not make that lie real. And you asking me to prove a negative, that's a weak argument. I'm not here to prove a negative. The Earth is observable and not stationary, as we observe and as every experiment has proven.
If you want to overturn a scientific model, you have to bring a model with better predictive capability. None of you have done that.
Yeah, we don't have to bring anything that's predictable. Then
you're not going to overturn the model.
Well, I'm not here to
sure?
overturn any model. I'm here to get people to use their own brains and say, trust your senses. You're not moving 2 million miles an hour through space. That's it. Use your own brain. That's what I'm here for. I'm not representing a model. I don't have a flat Earth model. I show people an alternative of what it could be other than a globe, so they can conceptualize something different, as I did. And then I bring them back to the fact that looking up, everything we're taught is not scientifically verifiable. Predictions don't make evidence, are not proof, 100% verifiable proof of curvature and motion.
Okay, on 2 different occasions, you said that in our model, the Earth spins 50 times faster than a speeding bullet. Can you bring up slide 24?
No, I said it orbits the sun 50 times faster than, approximately 50 times faster than a speeding bullet. The spin is faster. It might have slipped out. Usually, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but usually I say the Earth spins faster than the speed of sound, and we orbit around the sun approximately 50 times faster than the speed of a speeding bullet.
Okay,
and if I missed...
That math doesn't work either. But if you did say, I have the timestamps and links They're on this slide right here. So the muzzle velocity of an M16, which is a very, very high-speed round, is 3,250 feet per second. So that is 2.136 times the speed of the spin of the Earth. Can you go to the 25? That is some various variations of a 22 rimfire, which is a very slow round. Still not the same speed as the spin of the Earth. So do you know what you're talking about when you're going out here and flat smacking people?
Like I said, if it slipped out that we're spinning fast, 50 times faster than a speeding bullet, that was incorrect, and I'll admit it. I mean usually to state that we're orbiting around the sun faster than approximately 50 times faster than a speeding bullet. So if at one point in my video I stated that the spin was faster than 50 times faster than a speeding bullet, then I made a mistake. You are right. Something slipped out of my mouth. But if you watch all my videos, you will find that I usually do not say the spin equates to the bullet. It's the orbit that equates to the bullet, and the spin equates to sound. Speed of sound.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to use violence to disseminate or advance the flat Earth concept?
No, I don't.
Really? Can you bring up slide 69, please? Slide 69.
I think if you're looking for some time I might have advocated violence. I have said that violence may be necessary to end human enslavement and rampant pedophilia.
Yeah, that was this past weekend at 1 minute or 1 hour 35 minutes and 30 seconds. You said that you want to take over Belgium with other flat earthers, overthrow the government, take over the military, and then sodomize people. Correct?
I might have said that, sure.
Okay. At 23 minutes, you agreed with someone else on that video that I'm with you on the pitchforks. Correct?
Correct. I probably said that.
Okay. Can you bring up slide 77? In this video, you said that the largest telescope in the world is at the Vatican. Correct?
If I said that, I meant the Vatican owns it.
Well, no, it's not. There's just so much here.
Hey, Cliff, I'll make your point for you. You stated I've said many things have come out of my mouth. I mean, you want to come here and make me look like a bad guy? That's fine. I've said many things. I have many, extreme thoughts and views. That's fine. I mean, you could tell all the viewers here about it. I just made a comment that you're actually helping me spread what I say on my channel, and that's fine. None of this is going to prove that just my beliefs, my extreme views still do not prove that we live on a spinning space testicle.
Do you think that they moved to the Caribbean?
I don't know who they are, but I do know that the Panama Canal is different than I remember it. And millions of people over the world have been Mandela affected by this. I do believe that South America has changed positions. I know Dave, look at Dave holding his head. He's like, they're on the Mandela effect. This is crazy. Thank you for letting me introduce the viewers to Mandela effect. I do not remember South America being where it is now. It's moved 1,000 miles. Thus, the Panama Canal has changed. And now you're trying to debunk my memory and millions of people's memory. And that still doesn't prove the globe.
Can you tell me about the Panama Canal? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, how does that work on a globe Earth when it's something like 100 miles? Like, let me look how long the Panama. I'm just going to look it up for a sec. I don't have the number in front of me. Panama.
Hold on. Shouldn't you? If you said that they moved it and it's not like you thought, shouldn't you already know what it looks like?
Yeah, it went east to west. If you're asking me what it I was going to look up the length of it to say it's absurd and it proves flat Earth. Well, but I remember the Panama Canal going east to west. I used to study maps, and now with South America shifting, Panama Canal runs north-south.
If you're going to scream at people on the street that they moved the Panama Canal, shouldn't you know what the Panama Canal looks like?
Sure. I know what it looks like. I mean, like, do I have it memorized? Like, I don't understand what you're trying to get at.
I'm saying if you're going to make an assertion, shouldn't you know what you're talking about?
I do know that the Panama Canal went east-west, and now it's, in my memory, it went east to west, and now it goes north-south. And the Panama Canal is
required. Does the Panama Canal have locks?
I believe yes. From memory, yes, it does.
Why?
Why?
Why does it have locks?
I don't know. Tell me.
Well, because sea level on one side of the Panama Canal is not the same as sea level on the other side of the canal. That's why it has locks.
How many locks does it have?
Many. I don't scream at people on the street about the Panama Canal, so I don't need to know how many locks it has.
Okay, well, are we debating the fact that my memory remembers it going east-west, now it's north-south on the maps, or are we discussing the Panama Canal proving globe or flat Earth?
Hold on. I need to ask this question real quick. Flat Earth Focker, when you're traveling in a certain direction, how do you know, like, which way you're going? Like, how do you know that you're traveling east-west as opposed to north-south?
We use a compass.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference? Can you tell me the difference between true and magnetic north?
True magnetic north, one of them shifts a little bit. It kind of it varies from time to time.
Which one?
I can't remember. I would say I don't know, magnetic. I'm guessing here.
Okay. Here's another assertion you've made that at 60 miles away, you should be able to see buildings leaning away from you when you look over water at a city. Can you bring up slide 62?
Let me look this up. Panama Canal.
Yeah, we're going to have to increase the bandwidth on that, perhaps. There you go. Are those two poles leaning towards you, away from you, or are they straight up?
Let me just... I can't tell. They look straight up.
There you go. Thank you. The one on the left is leaning 3 degrees away from you. The one on the right is leaning 1 degree towards you. Can we go to slide 61?
Can we see that without anything in the background?
There you go.
What do you mean, there you go?
That's how you know that they're leaning.
Yeah, buildings don't have a house behind them. But I'm talking more not on the y-axis, but on the x-axis. And let's not
know
talk
the difference
degrees.
between an x and y. What?
Right.
So
I think
we're
the point that Schrodinger's cat is making here is that over 60 miles, a building will be, tilting away from you
1 degree.
less than 1 degree. So
Yeah, it's actually slightly less
than
than
it
1.
is possible to see the tilt of a building that is less than 1 degree?
Yeah.
And
So, hold on.
From 60 miles.
wanna
well,
say something?
the ratio that I did was way less than 60 miles for a tall building. So
The ratio was what?
No, you
Sorry,
can't.
it's cutting out. Okay.
I
Right.
was about.
Let go ahead, and I'll answer after.
Well, no. Let's the size of
Okay, let me
continents
answer
in the blue. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is what a lot of globe proponents bring up is degrees. Would you see something 1 degree 60 miles away on a building? Well, you got to remember, it's not 1 degree from the surface level. You got to go back to the base of the center of the supposed sphere and now go out almost 4,000 miles. So at 4,000 miles, I would see 1 degree. Yes, I would notice it. And globe proponents bring up if a clock can 0.06 degrees, would you notice it? Well, no, you wouldn't notice it on a clock. Now you stretch those hands out 4,000 miles, both of them, and I would notice that degrees, the minimal degrees, because it's not a degree, it's feet. At 60 miles, how many feet would that be? Give me 1 sec. 60 miles, 60 times.
The very
60
fact
miles,
that you're
that would
having
be
to run these numbers.
2,004. Sorry?
No, go
60
ahead.
miles would be 2,400 degrees. I mean, 60 miles would be 2,400 feet. If that's 1 degrees and you want to say you won't notice 1 degrees, sure. A 3-foot pole from 10 feet away leaning 1 degrees, we're not going to notice because it's like half an inch or something like that. But now you go out and it's going to be 2,400 feet. Yes, I'm going to notice that. And a lot of globe proponents like to turn it into degrees and forget the fact we're talking about degrees when something is stretched almost 4,000 miles.
Then why couldn't you tell which one of those poles was leaning towards you or away from you?
Again, those poles are not 4,000. The 1 degrees is not 4,000. You stretch those poles 4,000 more feet, then I can tell that they're 1 degrees apart. You're comparing apples to oranges. That's not how you prove a globe.
Okay. Pictures of Earth from space are CGI, and you can tell because they look fake, correct?
They look fake to me, yes.
Okay. Slide 36, please. Okay. Some of these may or may not be altered. Can you tell me which ones?
Which one of these are all? No, I can't.
But you know if they look fake, correct?
No, those are real photo. Like those were real screen captures of me, and I'm a real person. That pictures of me.
Are you sure?
Hold on. Pictures of me does not equate to a friggin' globe that we're living on. Quit with these straw mans. You're not going anywhere with these straw men.
Can we go to?
I'm not falling for
slide?
it.
Can we go to slide 37, please? What happened there? Anybody?
What are you asking me?
Yeah. What's up with that?
What's up with these photos of me or these images you took out of one of my videos?
Yep.
I have no idea what's wrong with them.
In the previous slide, right. See, I have access to graphic artists at work, and I had one of them add a finger on that picture on the right, and it was in that previous slide. And you said you couldn't tell which one was fake. So you have an extra finger in that picture, but you didn't recognize that. Also, in the picture on the top right in the previous slide, your face is slightly darkened. And that's a fake photo, and you didn't notice. So how do you know a fake picture? You said that you can tell if something is CGI.
Okay, you're not proving the globe, dude, with your argument. This is not.
No, I'm proving that you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, hold on. We're starting to talk over each other. What, Flat Earth Focker? Could you please enlighten us on your method for determining the way that you can tell that the globe pictures are CGI? Could we start there?
Okay. Well, first of all, there's a perfect circle. There's Photoshop clone tools being used. There's no stars in the background. These are just some of the basic things that I realized when studying the images, official photographs, images from NASA, as not being real photographs from space and the size of land masses.
Okay, well, just to let you know that you have to have the camera exposed so much in order for the stars to show in the background. Plus, the sunlight reflecting off of the Earth drowns out a lot of the stars in the background. But there are pictures of the Earth with stars in the background. They're very faint, but I mean, you could see stars in the background of a lot of these pictures. So, just while
again,
you're refilling your alcohol.
Again, these are all assumptions. You're making assertions and assumptions that we can't verify. You're trusting the official word of NASA, and I choose not to do that. And I have a right as a human being to use my brain. And it still doesn't prove a globe.
Hard not to butt in here. I just have to ask you one thing, Firefocker.
Sorry, can I take this call? It's my wife. Oh, sorry, one sec.
Quickly.
Oh, I've got a slide about that.
Oh my God.
I'm glad that he puts his wife before all of this stuff.
That's good. Right. All right, sorry.
Hey, I'm a family man.
I just wanted to ask you one question. Have you ever taken a photo of the night sky with a smartphone?
I have, yes.
And do you notice how the stars aren't there when you take that photo?
Yes, I have.
So does that not explain why there isn't stars in the NASA photographs?
No, NASA gets $20 billion a year. That's unacceptable. That's not my $700 smartphone.
Well, no.
Do you realize
it's on a camera?
It's a basic fundamental principle of how optics work. It's basic optics here. This is nothing to do with NASA or any space agency or anything like that. This is basic optics.
You know what?
John,
that's fine.
I've got this.
If you guys want to believe NASA is real, go ahead. If your mind and your brain tells you to bow down to NASA and trust everything that they say, hey, feel free to do that.
Now,
I have zero right. I'm not everything that you're saying. I've heard before, and I don't need to fall for that nonsense of I don't trust NASA, and that's plain and simple.
okay, when you flat smack people on the street, you tell them that the pictures are fake because the size of the continents are different, correct?
Yeah, that's noticeable. Yeah.
All right, can we bring up slide 33? Okay. I took that in this very room with my iPhone. Explain. Waiting on you.
Sorry, my mic was muted. You can obviously tell you brought the focus in. If you see the top of the globe in the first picture, the whatever the holder is about half an inch or whatever, quarter inch, and the other one you're closer to the globe.
Okay, so if one satellite is farther and one satellite is closer, then it's going to look different. And if it's oriented different, it's going to look different, correct?
It could.
Thank you.
Doesn't prove a globe. It doesn't prove that they're real.
It proves you don't know what you're talking about.
It's still a straw man, brother.
So I've got to call you out on that. That isn't a straw man argument in any way, shape, or form. You need to stop just saying everything is a straw man and maybe give an actual rebuttal to the points that he is bringing up.
Okay. I will not call that a straw man. It does not prove the globe. You're still assuming the globe. The picture that you took is a picture of your globe in your living room, and that's fine. That does not equate.
My office.
Yeah, sure, your office. That does not equate to a picture from a satellite, which don't exist, from outer space, the vacuum of outer space.
It equates to you not knowing what you're talking about when you accost people on the street and tell them that it's evidence that NASA is faking things.
Okay, you can believe that, but here, tell me, what are satellites made out of? What are they manufactured from that withstand temperatures of around 3,000 degrees Celsius?
Okay, do you know the density of particles in space?
No, do you?
Yeah, it's very, very low. You cannot.
Hold on. Have you been to space to verify that?
Oh, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I broke my wrist recently, and I went to the ER, and they told me that I had a broken wrist. Did they cut my arm open to check? I'm asking. That's a question.
Sorry, my mic. I keep muting my mic so the vape doesn't bother people. No, they didn't cut your arm open. They have the technology, and arms and wrists have been cut into in the past and can be cut into the future. And I can get a cadaver and cut into somebody's wrist.
Okay. When I'm at sea and I want to know how deep the water is below me, do I have to dive down there with a tape measure?
No, you can use. No, you don't.
Correct. If I want to know the voltage coming out of my socket, can I use this thing, or do I have to just like touch it and feel?
Well, I hope you would use that instrument rather than touching an live electricity.
Okay, so we can use the instruments to measure things. Thank you.
Before you didn't answer my question, what are satellites made out of that withstand 3,000 degree Celsius temperature approximately?
Well, they're mostly made of just the normal things that we make shit out of, aluminum and things like that. The temperature does not the conductivity of things in space, it has to incident with a particle in space. So the particles in space, yeah, some of them are super hot in certain places, but a particle can only impart a certain amount of energy onto a satellite only when it incidents with that particle. There's very few particles in space.
Again, unverifiable assumptions, bro.
Okay, well, then it's an unverifiable assumption that you made that space is hot.
No, that's what science is telling us. That's what science says. The thermosphere is about 3,000 degrees Celsius. That's your model. I'm not assuming it. I don't
so you're
think there
gonna.
is space.
So you're gonna cherry pick some things that science says and not other things, like that there's a very low density of particles in space.
Hold on. I'm gonna deny that the very low density whatever in space because nobody's been to space and that's unverifiable. I'm gonna deny everything that scientism and pseudoscience proclaims. I believe in real science, and you've watched my videos. I believe in the turbo of my car. I believe in the handling, the technology of the tires that I could go 120 around a corner. Verifiable, observable. I believe in the technology of this vape. The science, what you believe, what you're doing is mixing pseudoscience with real science, and then trying to say I'm a science denier, basically. And I've had this argument with people. What you're claiming is happening in space is not science. It's a story, unverifiable.
But you'll go into the street and scream at people about the varying sizes of continents without even understanding what that means, and the leaning of buildings at a distance without even knowing what that means. Maybe know what you mean first?
I do know what I mean. Man, you're not making a good point here, Cliff. I don't scream at people.
Are you sure?
Hold on, let me finish. I don't scream at people about the continent sizes being different. I point it out to them. If I'm going to scream out to people, I do scream out that they are being lied to. And buildings leaning back 2,400 feet at 60 miles away, if we can observe it, that should happen on a ball. That's just common sense, especially on an x-axis. And you can't say it's 1 degree or half a degree and we wouldn't notice it. Keep it in feet. Extend that out from the center of the supposed ball Earth.
Can we bring up slide 18? All right. What powers that ship?
What powers that ship? Sorry,
yep.
I keep muting. What powers that ship? I am assuming engines.
And what mechanism powers that?
What mechanism?
What fuel?
I don't know. Probably coal. I'm not sure. Gas, coal.
No, I don't even know if we've ever powered a ship with coal. Nuclear.
I'm pretty sure there's a reactor pressure vessel in there, right? Generating super hot steam.
Yeah, exactly. You have said that nuclear power is fake, and I'm going to relinquish just a few minutes to Craig so that y'all can talk about this.
So is it true you think nuclear power is fake?
No, I think nuclear, I don't think they're fake. I think nuclear weapons are a hoax. And I do not believe what happened at Fukushima and Chernobyl was the result of nuclear weapons or whatever.
Okay, well, that wasn't nuclear weapons. But
I
do
don't
you
buy, basically, sorry.
believe
Basically,
that
I don't
ships
buy
like that and submarines and a lot of power stations, do you believe they're powered by nuclear power?
I believe they tell us they're powered by nuclear power.
Okay, see, I'm a nuclear engineer. That's literally what I did in the military. And I don't know about you, but the military wouldn't have spent a whole bunch of money training me to be a nuclear engineer if nuclear power was something we were only told about. Does that make sense to you? In the same way that if you asked a plumber to come to your house, he's gone through the training to be a plumber. So why did I go through a whole bunch of years of training in nuclear physics and engineering if nuclear power isn't a real thing?
I'm saying that I don't know anything about nuclear power. I'm saying that nuclear weapons are a hoax, and the official story.
Okay, back to you, Cliff. I'm done with. I think I proved my point there.
I think so too.
You guys are hilarious. Sorry, go ahead. I had to laugh.
You said that the longest astronaut in space was in space for 666 days, correct?
I didn't say that. That's what NASA claims. I'm repeating what NASA's claiming.
Okay, can you go to slide 56, please? Okay. Where does that say 666 days? Question mark. Anybody?
I'm waiting for it to come on YouTube. It's very unclear. I have no idea what that says. And the YouTube stream has gone really blurry as well. I don't understand I don't understand your point with the 666 days. This is from NASA. The female, whatever her name is, that lying skank, apparently was up in space for 666 days. Right? That's what That's what NASA is claiming, and that's the story they gave us.
So
that's not what NASA is saying. She was in space for 665 days and some change. NASA doesn't even say that. You go to their website and you can look it up.
Okay,
so just to say,
the
information that's on the screen right now is not anything about NASA or whatnot. It's about the Pulse nightclub, Sandy Hook, 9/11 Parkland.
I may have screwed that up too. Is this slide? Actually, I see it on my index. I've screwed that up. It might be 57. I don't know. We can just move. No, we can just move on. I messed up my index on that one.
Okay, we've been going for about an hour, Schrodinger's cat. I mean, you have not proven curvature or rotation of the Earth. You're bringing up everything I said in the past, and I thank you for introducing 666 watching live right now. That's crazy. Awesome number of that. So I'm thanking you for introducing the viewers of the Non Sequitur Show to alternative theories. And yes, I'm getting blasted here in the chat, and I'm okay with that. You have not proven. You want to make me be a bad guy.
Focker, let me stop you there a sec, bud. All right, Cliff has presented many proofs of the globe. Could you please present Cliff with a proof of the flat Earth for him to analyze?
Proof. Okay, well, you just made an assertion, Craig, that he's provided.
No, I haven't. All I've done is I've asked you to provide proof for what you say the Earth is. I feel like Cliff has done a lot of presenting his model and his proofs, and I feel it's only fair that you now do the same.
Okay, yeah, he's made a lot of arguments. I do not see curvature miles squared times 8 inches up to where I can visually see.
Shit.
Out to 30, 40, 50 miles that I can see with my eye on a clear day. Sometimes from a skydiving plane, there's what the curvature is supposed to exist is not there.
Can we go to slide 2?
Sorry, what were you going to say, Dave?
Well, I'm godless engineer, but let's look at the slide. Then I have a question.
Okay, 8 inches times the mile squared. If the radius of the Earth is 24,901 miles, then if your equation is correct, and you say that we say that that's the formula, then the curve would be 78,920.38 miles. Your equation is not the equation for the circumference of the Earth. Stop saying that. Tell all your friends to stop saying that.
Okay, listen, I'm not claiming, you guys know that obviously when you keep going, that's not that doesn't work out. But for the first 1,000 or so miles, the equation is accurate. You can't just make an assertion and saying because at whatever thousands of miles, the equation is not correct, so it's not correct. I've taken this to the math department, as you watched from my videos. Miles squared times 8, and you guys even said that on your show a few weeks ago with Yellowbird, that the miles squared times 8 inches is correct till at least about 1,000 miles. After that, it gets skewed and it doesn't work out. So I am conceding that is true, but I'm saying for the first 1,000 miles, that equation is pretty accurate.
Okay, let's not even get into that. It's not. Maybe it's about 100 that it's good for. All right. Last thing.
If I could. Sorry, go ahead.
I've got one other thing. So the Antarctic Treaty.
Hold on. Can we stick with curvature? Are you conceding there's no curvature then before we move on? You guys are going to claim that I lost this debate. Are you conceding that there's no measurable curvature?
Oh, no. I've shown you multiple examples of how there's curvature. Like,
no, you haven't. You can't just make an assertion and claim that you've done that.
Do we crash our ships?
That doesn't prove curvature, dude. You making assumptions of the globe.
No, a chart is not an assumption.
A chart is a chart.
Okay. When we use artillery, do people that are alive become people that are dead?
When you use your no.
No, they don't? Okay.
Okay, I know this is really painful for everybody involved, Cliff. This is getting really painful. I know Craig is like just dying here. I don't know how much more of this I can take, brother. We've been going for an hour.
You still haven't presented any of your actual proofs for Flat Earth.
Okay.
Or you, when I said to you just now, could you present some proofs? What you went to was things that you think disprove the globe. So instead of that, could you actually present some proof of the fact that the Earth is flat for Cliff? I think that's fair. You haven't done that yet.
Playing off of what Fight the Flat Earth just said, since you say that there's no measurable curvature or anything like that, in Schrodinger's cat, in his slides, he gave you pictures of objects being obscured by the curve of the Earth. So I'm wondering, you said back then, like, you see that too, and I'm wondering, how do you explain objects being obscured by the horizon? How do you explain that?
Okay, so I conceded that that is what I see. Of course, I didn't need to answer that because that doesn't prove curvature. That is perspective and vanishing lines. And I'm sure you guys have had this argument dozens and dozens of time on this show.
Could you just clarify what perspective is for us all?
Please.
Perspective is how the eyes work and see.
No. I mean the mathematical formula.
I don't have the mathematical formula for perspective.
Oh, right. So you don't know what perspective is. That's fine. Carry on.
I do.
Hold on. At about 3, as far as I know, at about 3 miles or so, things on the horizon from ground level start disappearing as lines start converging. So obviously things look like they're disappear. Ships, buildings will disappear from bottom up. But now if
that's not perspective. Sorry. Okay. Carry on. Sorry.
If I take a ship out 30 miles from Southern California or the New York harbor with all those buildings 30 miles out and you're going to claim the bottom of the buildings disappear from the bottom up because of the curvature of the earth 30 miles on the y-axis. I'm saying show me that on the x-axis. And this is what no globe proponent will ever answer is why we don't see that happening on the x-axis and just gloss over it and move on to the next point. If you're claiming those ships are disappearing over the curvature of the earth, Schrodinger's cat, Cliff, I want to see that same curvature on the x-axis.
Okay.
Then I will confirm to you that the earth is a globe.
I've got this. Okay. So you said that at 6 feet height, you can see 3 miles, correct?
Approximately. I'm not going to stand by that, but approximately, yes.
Okay. And so that's in every direction, correct?
It should be, yes.
Right. So if I'm in the middle of the ocean, I see 3 miles in every direction. So
yes.
How am I supposed to see curvature of the horizon?
How are you okay, I was asking about looking at a shoreline from 30 miles out, and then you went to the middle of the ocean.
Right.
Where the horizon,
Have you ever bought a piece of lumber?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Did you want to know whether or not that piece of lumber was bowed?
If it was
before you bought it?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Well, like this. Do you want to know if this piece of lumber is bowed before you bought it?
If I needed it to be straight, yes.
Right. Do you look at it like this? Or do you look at it like that?
That you look at it from multiple angles.
Okay. What's the best way to see if it's bowed? Do you look down it long way? Or do you look at it this way?
I would look at it both ways, myself personally.
Okay. What you have bought lumber before, correct?
And I would put it on the cement floor, which was hopefully leveled by the people pouring the cement at Home Depot. I would put it on the floor to see if it's bowed. The Home Depot.
Okay. I can only see 3 miles. Well, on the warship, one of the warships I was on, our height was 100 miles. 100 feet, our height of eye. So it was about 14 miles. Okay, so I can see 14 miles in every direction. But if something's going away from me, it's going away. So it's going to be obstructed in every direction. If it's going on my beam, my starboard beam, on my port beam, on my stern, on my bow, it's going away from me. So even though I can only see the horizon at 14 miles, when the ship goes beyond that 14 miles, it's going to be lower than the 14 miles. It's going to start being obstructed by the horizon.
Okay,
How is this
yeah.
a hard concept?
No, I agree with you. That's happening on the horizon. That does not prove a globe. I don't understand. You keep assuming that proves a globe. Because you can take that 14 miles and go off the coast of Southern California, where you can see from Santa Monica to wherever, San Diego or Anaheim, or you can go to the eastern seaboard of the New York, 14 miles out, and you will not see that on the x-axis. Who's cherry picking now? I can see every direction in the middle of the ocean. I have been out in the middle of the ocean. Every direction, you can only see so far. I concede that. That does not prove a globe.
I understand that you don't understand.
Okay.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. No, you don't understand. You're clutching, grasping at straws here. I don't understand why you need to hold on to this ball model. Does it? Can you handle that? The fact that you have been lied to, Cliff, is that the problem? I mean, that's what I talk about in my videos. If you really want to talk, I talk about how, I point out how human beings are afraid to acknowledge that they have been lied to all their life, and they try to hold on to some aspect, of their reality to be in denial that they've been lied to.
Listen. So, Flat Earth Focker, I mean, you've spent this entire stream here complaining about how Schrodinger's cat is not providing actual evidence or anything like that. But at the same time, you are providing no substantial evidence for the claims that you make. So, I mean, it's the entire stream has just been you making an absurd claim without any kind of proof behind it, but then ragging on your opponent for supposedly not proving the point that he's making, which he's actually proving the point that he's making. So,
he's not
making
any proofs. Sorry, I just want to say he's not making any proofs, and I don't mean to rag him out. You guys want me to prove a negative. I'm saying, how can you? That's weak, and I'll say it again to everybody in your chat. The globe is absurd, and you're saying, well, prove flat Earth. Everywhere we look, observe,
no.
flat.
No. I did not say prove flat Earth. I said that you have to provide evidence that proves that the current consensus is incorrect. That's not proving flat Earth. But so, I mean, it's not proving a negative. You're basically, what I basically asked you to do was to provide evidence that contradicts the current model. And so
if you want to overturn a model, you have to provide a better model.
Okay, right. You guys can believe in models all you want. I'm not here to prove a friggin' model. I'm here to say that the globe is a lie. You're the one said I don't know science. And
hold on. Again, I did not say that you have to prove a model. Okay, you want to talk about straw man, that's all you're doing right now with what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? All I asked you to do was to prove the current consensus. Not the you can disregard the word model if you want to, but the current consensus and the current evidence that shows that you're wrong. You need to provide evidence that shows that it is incorrect in its representation. So that's not proving a negative. That's providing evidence that shows that it is wrong.
And
that's why
just
I asked
saying
about the curve.
You've been lied to isn't proving that the Earth is flat in any way. That is a large assumption that you are making yourself. All I've wanted from this debate is for you to present Cliff with some evidence in the same way that he has presented you with some evidence. He has done some research, done some preparation, and then given you evidence and explained why that proves the globe. And all you've done is stick your fingers in your ears and go, nah, 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 without actually providing any substance to anything that you've said. So
it's a little bit insulting.
Just for one,
you knew about this.
Provide some evidence of the flat Earth for Cliff to analyze.
You've known about this debate for weeks, and just showed up empty-handed.
Well, I came here for you to prove the globe Earth to me. That's what I came here for you. For you to prove science said I don't know. I'm flat smacking innocent people that are unprepared
to answer questions about the globe. That's what your email said, and I can pull that email out. So I came here for you to provide evidence that the globe exists, and you have, and I've put holes in every one of your arguments. They're nothing but assertions.
Are you sure? Did you even bother? Like, do you even bother to check the things that you say? Okay, so the Antarctic. Craig, use please.
Let me just say this.
So,
I'm trying to look for this video. One sec. I don't Antarctic, whatever. JT Tolan Media, infrared photography. Please explain that. I will use that as my evidence or proof that the Earth does not curve 8 inches per mile squared.
I'm going to do this to you. Were you there?
Okay, listen, Flat Earth Focker, I will give you $10 if you can tell me right now, mapped out on a graph, what is 8 inches per mile squared? What does that look like? Does that look like a sphere?
Okay, that's the curvature math.
No, it's not.
If that is the curvature math, then it would represent a sphere. What does the graph of that particular equation look like?
Again, we went through this with his numbers earlier. I concede it doesn't
Lost $10.
Okay, hold on. Where am I? Let me find this. You're right. It's going to go like that, and it's going to keep going down like that.
It's a parabola.
I can see it. When you keep going with a mile squared times 8 inches, it's going to start going straight on a graph. I get it. I'm just talking about the part from about here. That's where it is accurate. So let's bring it back to 100 miles away. Where is that curvature? And JT Tolan Media. Okay, you got a good point, Cliff. Did I take an infrared lens on a P1000 and take that photography myself? No. Can I choose to take that and believe in that video, the photography to be real? Yes, I'm allowed to do that. And you're allowed to say, I'm going to deny that infrared footage and believe in NASA and authority and consensus. That's your right.
All right, Flat Earth Focker, can I ask you one question about that? The person that took that photograph, were they a flat earther?
No, as far as I know.
Right, okay, so why are you using it as proof of a flat earth? Because they didn't.
That doesn't matter. You
just said that you trust in that photograph and the person that's taken it, but the person that's taken it does not think that the earth is flat. So...
Okay, hold on, Craig. The person
kind of blows your argument apart there.
No, the person who took the
same with the world record shot.
So the person
can you provide the maths for that particular photograph that shows that it shouldn't be possible on our Earth? I'm sorry, I'm not debating you here. I'm just asking you to present these things to Cliff, because you keep saying that you don't have to prove anything, but you haven't. And if you're going to use that photograph as a moderator, I have to ask you to back it up. So can you now present Cliff with the maths that prove that photograph disproves the globe? Over to you.
Can I provide the math? Okay, so I'm trying to look up you're right, I didn't look it up. So I think the latest one he did of the skyline, you know where that skyline was from? I believe it's from about 120 miles away. And you can see, and it's pretty much at ground level, you can see the buildings all straight up. I'm not talking about the Hudson Bay footage. I'm talking about the footage or the photograph that came out, I think, a week or two ago. You can see, first of all, the base of the buildings and the landscape from about 120 miles away. And 120 miles away, let me get my calculator out.
He's going to use that equation again.
It's about over 9,000 feet of curvature that those buildings should be over the curvature of the Earth. Not only are they not over the curvature of the Earth, it's completely flat on the x-axis.
We just talked about the observer height of the photograph.
I believe it was almost, it was pretty much at ground level, but it doesn't, I'll concede it could be 50 feet up, but I'm talking almost 10,000 feet of missing curvature in that photograph.
Well,
Okay.
sorry, I'm going to bite my tongue so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you
That,
guys know,
that's fine.
there's about
Go ahead.
5 minutes.
Go
There's
ahead,
about 5
Craig.
minutes till the hour and a half mark. And so we need to do super chats and stuff, and then we need to head on out. So
okay, I've got one last point, please.
Guys, yeah, I was gonna say, why don't we make final points and whatnot, and then we'll do super chats. Okay, how does that sound?
That sounds perfect.
Okay, Schrodinger's cat, why don't you go first, and then we'll give a Flat Earth Focker the last word.
Okay, on the AE map, so the equator is 24,901 miles in diameter. That makes the Antarctic ring 49,747 miles. When I was in Iraq patrolling around Abot and Kayat, the only way we could patrol that was to have a ship every 3 miles. That way we could intercept anything that was incoming. So if we were patrolling the Antarctic to keep people out, we would need 16,582 ships. The U.S. Navy currently has about 250 serviceable ships, and most of them are not even equipped to do that. They can't accelerate. We need small ships like patrol crafts to do that. Where are these 16,582 ships? Where are the people that service them? Where are the people that build them? Where are the people that work on them? Question mark. I'm done.
All right, Flat Earth Focker, if you'd like to have your last word.
I mean, your question about these ships and where all these people, I'm not even going to answer that.
I wouldn't
my
expect
last word
you to.
is, well, that doesn't prove anything. Like your statement there proves absolutely nothing about the shape of the Earth. And it doesn't debunk or prove whether the Antarctic Treaty exists or does not exist. You're just asking, what you stated there is the logistics of guarding the ice wall if the ice wall is what it is on the AE map. And that's fine. I'm not arguing the logistics of how they do it. I don't claim to know how the Antarctic Treaty is enforced. Okay, and I never did.
Have you read it?
Have you read it? I read it 2 years ago when I first got into Flat Earth. I skimmed through it.
Yeah. Do you know that it says that they cannot militarize the Antarctic?
Oh, yeah.
I did read
if
it.
you want to...
Right, Cliff, let Focker finish his thought, sir.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Time's running out. That's fine. You just proved again you believe anything that's on a piece of paper from authority, and you can live your life believing lies that are written down on a piece of paper, and that's good. I'm glad I got this debate out of the way. I'm glad you came on here, introduced people to alternative realities, and it doesn't matter to me if everybody here in the chat wants to believe in nuclear weapons and fake mass shootings, and if they live on the side of a spinning space testicle. You didn't provide anything concrete as far as proving that we're living on a spinning, orbiting space rocket ball. If you were in the Navy, you would know the Navy men have said they can see sight of line, or whatever they call it, 100 and 120 miles out at line of sight, 100, 120 miles out. That completely debunks the blow bottle. The Navy people that fire surface level missiles or whatever on submarines. I don't remember the exact terminology. If you're in the Navy, then you should go research it. I'm not here to convince you what I've learned. You ask me on this show and this debate to prove the globe, and you haven't done that. It's all assumptions, and I'm okay with that. You guys here, 700 people watching this. This chat can keep believing lies if you want to keep believing lies and not verify anything for yourselves. Go ahead, appeal to authority, ride on the coattails of great men for 500 years. If you want to live your life that way, you guys go right ahead.
All right, and I think we'll end that diatribe there, and we will go on in with society and be fine without you. But anyway, let's get into these super chats. Goddess, have you got them?
Actually, I do. I am David.
Yeah, Dave would.
David's going to do the super chats.
All right.
Dave, could you turn up your mic a little bit?
I sure can.
Yeah, you're a wee bit quiet, bud.
How about now? Is that better?
Yep, you're
Much
good.
better.
Okay. So, we've got a couple here, like more than a couple, actually. Number one, Mike McAtheus for $2. Thank you very much, Mike. Dude is a beta! Chow Yun Cat for $2. Question: does the Big Bang violate the second law of thermodynamics?
Oh, for Christ's sake! This again?
I think it created it.
Oh, I mean, no, it wouldn't. But,
No.
Okay.
So we've answered that. There you go, Chow Yun. I can't read this name because it's Japanese. Gave us $2. GE and FTFEA. I like those guys.
Thank you.
I do too.
Stringer News 1 for $2. FEF. First argument, burden of proof reversal. Fail. Flat at X for $2.29. Flat Earth truth is already known by everyone here. Okay, sure, whatever. Rapid X. GE and FTFE. Great job, guys. Stringer News 1, $6.66. Flat Earth Focker, affirming the consequent is not proof of flat Earth. You failed to meet your burden of proof, you lose. Jason Schneider for $4.99. Someone should graph the curve formula to show them what shape that equation shows. A Sandring Person for $10. Why would there be millions of dollars spent producing nomadic projection charts?
Well, there we go.
There you go. Thank you, Sandring.
Well, that was certainly something. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Cliff and Flat Earth Focker, for coming along. We're going to be back later. Are you just hosting on your own, Godless, when I'm debating the Flat Earth Brothers?
I guess I will be. So that'll be fun.
Cool. I think it's going to be more of a discussion than a debate. So, but they're quite a big channel, the Flat Earth Brothers. So it should be an interesting one. And that's at 9 p.m. EST. So what, in about 3.5 hours?
Yeah, I think so.
3.5.
3.5 hours. So yeah, make sure you guys come back for that. Anything you want to say, Godless?
Well, I appreciate everybody coming out today. I hope that you enjoyed this discussion between these two debaters. If you will, if you're watching this on the rerun, leave comments down below what you thought about this. If you're watching during the live stream, we'd still love to hear from you in the live chat after we go offline. And as always, don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.